The rain fell like cold needles on the lonely metal roofs of Outpost 7, a small human station on the edge of alien space. The lights flickered because of the storm, and almost every worker had already taken shelter inside. Only one person stayed awake, Evan Hawley, a quiet human engineer who lived alone in a small cabin at the end of the outpost. He sat beside his heater, staring at the dim orange flame. Every night looked the same to him, but this night, something felt different. There was a strange pressure in the air, like a silent warning. His hands shook without reason, and a cold fear touched his heart that it had been 2 years since he lost her. 2 years since Mira, the woman he loved, vanished during a transport attack. 2 years of wondering if she was alive, or dust among the stars. Time did not heal him. It only made the silence heavier. Then, suddenly, a single soft knock on his metal door. Evan's breath froze. No one visited him at this hour. The storm was too strong. No ship had docked. No worker walked this far. Knock. The sound came again, slow, calm, but heavy with intention. Evan stood up, heart pounding like a drum in his chest. He reached the door and placed his hand on the scanner. It slid open with a hiss of cold air. He expected a human worker, but instead, a tall alien woman stood in the doorway. She was unlike any alien he had seen before. Elegant bone patterns across her blue skin, silver glowing eyes, and long black hair braided with small crystal beads that shimmered even in the rain. She wore a thick cloak, drenched from the storm, and she held something wrapped inside a silver cloth against her chest. For a long moment, neither of them spoke. She looked at Evan with deep sadness, like someone carrying a truth too heavy for words. Finally she spoke in a soft, melodic voice. "Human. Evan Hawley?" He stepped back, confused, shocked, unsure. How do you know my name?" She slowly entered the cabin without waiting for permission. Her presence filled the room with a strange calm, yet something about her made Evan's heart race with fear and curiosity. "My name is Relia," she said gently. "I come from the world of Liran, far beyond your borders." Evan swallowed hard. "Liran? That's 3 sectors away. That journey takes weeks. Why would you come here?" She ignored the question. Instead, she set the silver cloth on his small table. The cloth moved, lightly, as if something inside it breathed. Evan felt a sharp pain in his chest. "What is that?" Relia's eyes softened, with something that almost looked like grief. "Something that belongs to you." She opened the cloth, slowly, and that was when Evan's world collapsed. Inside the cloth was a small metal locket broken on one side, but still shining faintly. Myra's locket. The same one she wore every day. The same one she held the day before she disappeared. Evan stumbled backward. His hands shook. His voice cracked. "That's impossible. That's hers. Where did you get it?" Relia looked at him with deep, ancient sadness. "I found this locket on a destroyed pirate vessel. A human woman was there. She was wounded, weak, but she protected this locket with her life." Evan's knees felt weak. He grabbed the chair to keep from falling. "Mira? You mean she's alive? You found her? Where is she?" His voice broke into panic, hope, fear all mixed together. Relia closed her eyes for a moment and took a slow breath. "Yes, she is alive, but not safe." Evan felt the room spinning. Alive. Myra was alive. 2 years of pain turned into a sudden fire of desperate hope. "Take me to her," Evan said quickly. "Right now." Relia shook her head slowly. "It is not so simple, human." "What do you mean, not simple?" "She needs me. Just tell me where she is." Relia raised her hand gently. "Please, listen. I did not come here only to return your lost love. I came to offer you something. Something heavy. Something that even humans fear. Evan stared at her, confused. What are you talking about? She touched the locket with careful fingers. This woman. Mira. She did not just survive. She saved others. She saved my child. She saved my family. And she saved me. Evan's throat tightened. What do you mean, saved? Relia's voice turned soft, almost trembling. My people were caught in a deadly storm. Your Mira risked her life to free my child from falling debris. She held my child for hours under the wreckage until I reached them. She almost died doing it. Evan felt tears build in his eyes. Mira always had a brave heart. Always helping others, even strangers. She was badly hurt, Relia continued. And when the pirates came, she traded herself to them so they would not take my child. Evan's heart ripped open. Mira had traded her own life to protect a child who wasn't even human. Relia looked at Evan with steady, emotional eyes. I owe her a life debt. And a mother of my kind cannot break such a debt until balance is restored. Evan whispered, Then take me to her. Relia nodded, I will. But you must understand the truth first. There is something I must ask of you. Something that only you can give. Evan wiped the rainwater and tears from his face. What do you want from me? Relia's voice grew quieter. I want your hand. Evan blinked, stunned. My, what? Your hand, she repeated calmly. A symbolic bond. A promise. A union of trust. Without it, I cannot complete the life debt. Without it, Mira cannot be protected forever. Evan stepped back. You're asking me to marry you? Relia shook her head. Not marriage. Not in your human way. It is an oath. A sacred oath between a human and an alien mother. It binds our families. It protects everyone under it. Evan's heart beat wildly. Why me? Relia stared at him for a long, silent moment. Then whispered, Because Mira spoke your name. Even when she was dying. Because she believed you would come. Because your love kept her alive. A tear ran down Evan's cheek. His love had reached her. Even across star systems. Relia stepped closer, her tall figure casting a gentle shadow over him. If you wish to see her again, if you want to bring her home, you must come with me. To Liren. To her. Evan looked at the locket again, her locket. Her voice. Her memory. He closed his fist around the locket and whispered, I'll go. Relia nodded with respect. Then follow me. Human, your journey begins tonight. Evan grabbed his jacket, his mind storming with fear and hope. When he stepped out of the cabin, the rain suddenly felt lighter, the wind gentler. Relia led him toward a glowing silver ship hidden behind the supply tower. Its engines hummed like a heartbeat. As the ramp opened, Relia said softly, Once you enter, your old life ends, and a new bond begins. Evan took a deep breath. For Mira, he would walk through fire. He stepped inside the alien ship. The door slid shut behind him. The alien ship rose into the dark storm clouds, leaving Outpost 7 behind. Evan sat near the window, watching the world he knew fade into distant lights. He felt the weight of the locket in his hand. It was warm now, almost alive. Every heartbeat reminded him why he was on this journey. Mira. Relia stood at the front of the ship, adjusting glowing controls. Her tall figure was calm, but her sharp silver eyes kept watching Evan as if studying him. He felt her gaze again and again, not threatening, but measuring. After a while she spoke softly, You are quiet, human. Evan looked up. I'm thinking about Myra. She has thought of you every day, Relia said. Even when her body was weak. Even when she lay between life and death. His chest tightened. You said she saved your child. How? Relia turned slowly toward him. Her cloak moved like falling water. It was during a sky storm. Our vessels crashed into the cliffs of Liren. The winds were sharp like blades. Fire fell from the sky. My child was trapped under metal wreckage. Your Mira was there. She freed my child even while her own leg was bleeding. She lifted a beam twice her size. Humans are stronger than they look. Evan felt pride and pain together. That was Mira always risking herself for others. Relia continued, voice softer. When I reached them, Mira was holding my child close, shielding her from burning debris. My child would have died without her. Evan whispered, Myra always had a brave heart. Relia nodded. Yes, so now I must return what she gave. A life for a life. A family for a family. Evan frowned. I still don't understand what that means. Relia stepped closer. The ship lights reflected off her blue skin, making her look almost ethereal. In my culture, she said, a mother who receives a life debt must protect those connected to the Savior. You, Myra's chosen partner. Her bond. Evan looked down, feeling his throat tighten. And the oath? Why do you need my hand? Relia sat across from him. Even seated, she was taller. The oath is not romantic marriage, she explained. It is a union of responsibility. A promise of trust. If a human accepts the oath of an alien mother, their lives become linked. My clan will protect you and Mira, and in return, you will protect my child if I fall. Evan's eyes widened. You think you might die? Relia looked away. Just for a moment. A mother always lives with danger. My world has enemies. Evan leaned forward. Is Mira safe from these enemies? Relia hesitated. She is safe for now. But danger has long shadows. His heart dropped. What kind of danger? Relia did not answer. Instead, she stood and walked to a glowing panel. We are close, she said. Hold your questions until you see the truth. The ship passed through a thick cloud of silver mist. When it cleared, a breathtaking world appeared. Liran. Green oceans shimmered like liquid emerald. Floating islands glowed with blue crystals. Silver cities stood tall like towers reaching for the stars. The sky had 2 moons, both casting a bright and peaceful light. Evan had never seen anything so beautiful. Relia's voice softened. This is my home. The ship descended toward a crystal building surrounded by floating lights. The landing door opened, releasing warm, sweet-smelling air. Evan stepped out and felt the ground vibrate with soft energy, as if the planet itself was alive. 2 alien guards bowed deeply to Relia. Their armor glowed with purple lines. Mother Relia, one guard said. The human woman rests in the healing chamber. Evan's breath hitched. Mira, she's really here. Relia guided him down a crystal hallway. The walls shone like stars trapped in glass. He could hear a faint humming sound, like a heartbeat echoing in the building. They stopped at a large door shaped like a curved leaf. Relia placed her hand on a glowing symbol, and the door slid open. Inside was a gentle white chamber filled with floating lights. Soft warm mist covered the floor. In the center lay a healing pod made of transparent crystal. And inside that pod was Myra. Her hair spread like a dark halo in the water like healing fluid. Her breathing was slow but steady. Her skin looked pale, her body thin, but she was alive. Evan took a shaky step forward. Tears blurred his vision. Mira, he whispered. Relia stood silently behind him, watching his reaction with a mother's empathy. She remains weak, Relia said softly. But her mind fights. Her spirit is strong. Evan placed his hand on the pod. The surface felt warm. Can she hear me? Yes, Relia said. Speak, she will know your voice. Evan leaned closer. Myra, I'm here. I came for you. I never stopped looking. Her fingers twitched inside the pod. Evan gasped. She moved. Relia smiled faintly. Her heart remembers you. He wiped a tear. After a long silent moment, Evan turned to Relia. You saved her. You really saved her. Relia shook her head gently. No, she saved me first. Evan frowned. What do you mean? Relia walked to the side of the chamber. Light reflected off her armor, making her look like a warrior and a mother at the same time. When the pirates came, Mira told them to take her instead of my child. I fought the pirates, but I was badly injured. Mira dragged me into a cave. She kept me alive for 2 days. She stopped my bleeding. She protected my child even when she could no longer stand. Evan felt a sharp ache in his heart. She would do that, he whispered. That's who she is. Relia nodded. Yes, she saved both our lives. That is why I must repay the debt. Evan straightened. Tell me everything now. No more secrets. Relia studied him a long moment. Then she said, my people believe that the strongest protection is a united family. So to repay Mira's sacrifice, I must offer you my hand, my oath, my bond. If you accept, your life becomes part of my clan. My strength becomes yours. My enemies become yours. And your enemies become mine. Evan felt fear prick his skin. But why me? Why not just protect Mira alone? Relia stepped closer. Her eyes softened. Because she whispered your name when she was dying. Because she held the locket to her chest and said, he will come. He must live. Her love gave her strength. And your love called her back. Evan felt his throat tighten. So if I accept this oath, he asked, what happens? Relia raised her hand slowly, respectfully. You will see Mira awaken. Safe. You will gain protection stronger than any human command. And you will belong to something bigger than yourself. And if I refuse? Relia's voice turned quiet, almost painful. Then the life debt remains open. Mira will still live. But she will carry my burden. My enemies will seek her. And she will never be truly free. The room felt colder. Evan stared at Mira's peaceful face. He remembered her laughter, her smile, her warmth, her bravery. He remembered every broken night after losing her. And now she was here alive, but trapped. Between fate and danger. Evan closed his fist around the wand. Lock it. He looked at Relia. I'll do anything to keep her safe. Relia bowed her head. Then tomorrow, you will give me your hand. And the oath will begin. Evan nodded slowly, but inside his heart, fear whispered a warning. What kind of enemies would dare challenge a mother like Relia? And what would they do when they learned Mira was still alive? Evan barely slept through the night. He sat beside Mira's healing pod, watching the soft lights move across the fluid. Every time her fingers twitched, his heart raced. He whispered her name again and again, hoping she could hear him through the layers of healing crystal. Relia stayed near the doorway, her tall silhouette like a silent guardian. She never closed her eyes. A mother never truly rests. The room was calm, but Evan felt something else, a tension in the air, a storm waiting behind invisible walls. At dawn, gentle golden light entered the crystal chamber. Relia finally stepped forward. It is time, she said softly. Evan stood, his chest tight. Time for the oath? Relia nodded. Yes, but first, Mira will wake. Evan's eyes widened. She will? Relia touched a glowing symbol on the pod. The fluid inside slowly sank away. Mira's breathing grew deeper, steadier, her eyelids fluttered, and then, her eyes opened. Evan gasped, dropping to his knees beside her. Myra, I'm here. She blinked, weak but aware. Her voice was barely a whisper. Evan, you came. He took her hand gently, afraid to break her. Tears fell down his cheeks as he kissed her fingers. I'll always come for you. Mira smiled softly, though her body trembled with exhaustion. I knew you would. She looked past him, toward Relia. Mother Relia. You brought him. Relia bowed her head with respect. Your heart asked. I listened. Mira squeezed Evan's hand. Listen to her, Evan. Trust her. Her words were quiet, but strong. Relia stepped closer, her expression serious. She remembers what must be done. Mira closed her eyes as if a heavy truth rested inside her. Evan looked at Relia. Are you sure this oath is the only way? Relia nodded once. Yes, my enemies do not forget. And they know she lives. The oath will protect you both. Before Evan could ask more, distant alarms suddenly echoed through the palace. A sharp, metallic howl filled the air. Evan turned in shock. What was that? Relia's eyes turned cold like a warrior ready to fight. They are here. Who? Relia's voice dropped to a whisper filled with ancient anger. The ones who wanted my child for war. The ones Mira protected us from. The hunters. Evan felt fear rise inside him. Footsteps echoed in the hallway heavy. Armor-clad, growing closer. Relia's cloak opened slightly, revealing a spear-like weapon glowing with blue flames. You must stand behind me, she said, but Evan shook his head. No, I won't leave you alone. Relia looked surprised. You would stand against alien hunters? You are only human. Evan clenched his fists. Mira saved your child. You saved Mira. I'm part of this now. I won't run. For a moment, Relia's sharp alien eyes softened. Humans. Your courage never stops surprising me. The door burst open. 3 alien hunters entered, taller, darker, armored with jagged bones and glowing red patterns. Their eyes were hollow, their movements sharp like predators. The leader pointed a clawed finger at Mira. There she is, he hissed. The human woman who interfered. The one who broke our trade. Evan stepped in front of Mira instantly. You won't touch her. The hunter laughed. A human male? You think you matter here? Relia moved faster than sight. Her spear flashed like lightning, knocking one hunter back against the wall. The other 2 attacked with bone blades. Relia blocked the first strike, then spun with deadly grace, her spear cutting blue trails through the air. The chamber shook with the force of the fight. Evan grabbed a fallen shield from the floor and stood over Mira, protecting her with his body. Evan, she whispered weakly, please, don't get hurt. He looked back at her with fierce eyes. I won't let anyone take you again. The hunters roared. One lunged toward Evan. Evan raised the shield, barely blocking the strike. The impact pushed him back into the pod. The hunter snarled and swung again. Relia leaped across the chamber, pushing the hunter off Evan with a powerful kick. You do not touch what is under my protection, she shouted, her voice echoing like thunder. But the hunters kept coming. There were too many. Too strong. Too fast. Relia couldn't protect everyone at once. Evan realized something. If he didn't take the oath now, Relia's power couldn't shield Mira. The hunters would keep coming. And next time, they would take her. He looked at Mira. She nodded weakly. Take it, Evan, please. Evan turned to Relia. Do it now. Relia froze mid-battle, shock in her eyes. Now, in the middle of this? Yes, Evan shouted. If this oath protects her, then I accept. I accept everything. Your bond, your clan. Your enemies, everything. A hunter lunged at Relia. She threw him aside with a fierce cry. Then she thrust her glowing hand toward Evan. Give me your hand, human. Evan grabbed her hand without hesitation. A surge of blue fire shot through their skin. Energy wrapped around them, both raw, ancient, powerful. The lights in the chamber exploded into bright streams that circled the room. Like lightning, Relia spoke the sacred words. By blood of my heart. By breath of my spirit. By the duty of a mother, I bind you to my clan. Blue energy flooded into Evan's chest. It burned and healed at the same time. His whole body shook with the power of the alien oath. Evan shouted the answering words, voice booming with new strength. I accept your bond. Your oath, your family. I will protect your child, as Mira protected them. As I protect her now. The chamber erupted with a shockwave of blue light. The hunters were thrown back, slamming into the walls. Their red armor cracked under the energy of the oath. Relia stepped forward, eyes blazing like silver flames. This human is mine to protect, she growled. You will not touch him. You will not touch my child. You will not touch our family. The hunters scrambled up, terrified. Their leader hissed one last warning. This is not over. Then they retreated, disappearing into the shadows outside. Silence returned. Evan fell to his knees, breath shaking, chest glowing faintly. Relia knelt beside him, placing a hand on his shoulder. It is done, she whispered. You are bonded. My clan will protect you. And Mira, finally strong enough, sat up slightly inside the pod with tears in her eyes. You saved me again. Evan, he took her hand gently. We saved each other. Relia bowed her head with respect, not as a leader, but as family. Your courage, your loyalty. It changes worlds, she said quietly. Now humans and my people share a future. Evan looked at the two women he now shared a bond with his love. Mira, and the alien mother whose life had become tied to his. Whatever comes next, he said softly. We face it together. Mira smiled. Relia smiled. Outside the window, the two moons of Liran rose slowly, casting silver light on the new family formed not by blood, but by courage.